All of that's going to be done through automated roles.
So we have not done that yet.
No, we have not.
Okay, we're not at that phase yet.
Correct. Right now, we want to get consistent results. And then once we have a consistent platform to work with, then we start automating it. Because if we automate something that's like super risky, then we're going to get risky automations, right? And it's going to make uncalculated decisions, which we don't want. We want calculated decisions made.
Makes sense.
Right now, it looks like the audience men only US 18 plus is performing the best.
Isn't that the control?
Right. It is. This audience is, it's completely open. There's no audience in here. Last I believe. Yep. No audience. And this one has, it's also been running the longest, correct? Yep. June 1st. The rest started on June 5th. From right now, from what I can see is you're doing about $15 per website schedule. So about 3 schedules, 19 registrations. So I'm assuming those are the emails. And then it looks like you had about 4 people view the schedule. And then out of the 4 people who viewed it, 3 of them scheduled and submitted their application. In this case,
I'm not sure that's 100% correct. There might have been some from the other audiences because there's been a few more guys that have gotten on the phone with Jay.
It's possible.
A few more than 3.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's possible. If what we want to do with this is, since it's getting results, I mean, the amount of schedules, were you ever paying $14 per website schedule? Last I checked, it was around like 50 something.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was a little bit higher than 50.
Yeah, a little, let's see. About 51. Oh, that was for registrations. I don't know if those are the same as the scheduled. I think you're using registrations for scheduling. I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't remember. I don't really exactly know how that was set up.
Okay.
One of the reasons why I needed help when I hired you.
Yeah. All right. So in this instance, what we would want to do is increase this daily. So if you want to go ahead and change this, increase your spend.
Do it right now. Go ahead. I don't care. I'm watching. What do you want to change it to? What do you need? Like,
well, if you're doing 14.55, ideally what you would want to change it to is 15. And then what we want to do is right after it's changed to 15 is we want to go ahead and end up taking this audience in about 2 days. Let's see what happens here. If it stays around the $15 range, in 2 days, you should go ahead and duplicate this. Just duplicate it. And then like put in 3 times this amount. So I'd put whatever 15 is times 3. That's $45. Yeah, so change it to 45 daily. Don't change this one, just duplicate it and put it at 45 daily. And what that's going to, and leave this one on as well. I wouldn't even turn this one off. So you have 2 running. And what that's going to do is it's going to reset the learning. It won't reset this learning, but it's going to start a new one. And it's going to start a new one that we already know that it's going to be getting about 15. So we're going to increase the range at which you can get submissions. And we'll probably increase your amount of submissions by triple. We'll triple the amount.
What about the other 4 audiences above?
They don't have enough submissions yet.
Should we shut those off or not?
We could increase these. There's 2 options. In this case, if you don't have submissions, you either want to raise your daily by like either double or by $2.50 take it to $7.50, or the other option is turning off some of these ads that we know aren't going to work by using this audience as a reference tool. So like this one.
How do you do that? Give me
here's an example. So this, we have 3 submissions. So if we look at the ads inside of this audience for men US, we see that this one has a submission, this one has a submission, this one has a submission for website scheduled. Right now, that's still very little data, but what we can do is we'll rank it by link clicks just so that way we can see which ads are getting the most click through in combination with your results as well as your cost. And it looks like these two are the best.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't look like anything's this one. So we basically can tell this image is working, and then these two combinations of what these might be are working. So we could keep those, and we probably want to start turning off anything that has a high spend but low amount of clicks. So if we rank it by spend, let's see, high spend and then a low amount of clicks. So this one has high spend. So we could probably turn off a few of these. This one has no clicks at all. So, oh, okay, there you go. So this one could go off.
Go ahead, click it. I'm watching. Just go ahead.
These can go off.
What's the little triangle?
It's just waiting on it to publish. It says captions too long, but that it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. Then let's see what else. This one's already off. We'll rank it by.
Something that I did is I went through and I changed the URLs on every single ad, and I completely eliminated the webinar. Yeah, you see how the URL on the right side has my name?
Yes.
Below the ad picture?
Yeah.
It doesn't have the online meeting now URL anymore. Everything is going straight to the landing pages on my website. I have completely eliminated
Awesome.
webinar.
That's perfect. Yeah. Good deal.
That was something that my developer and I were working on behind the scenes.
Right. Yeah.
And it
That's
took
good.
me like 3 hours to go through and change all of the short links and the the URL redirects for every ad with the correct ones.
Right.
Took me a while, but I did it.
Okay. That's good.
So set that to active. Go up to the top and review just the active ones. Yeah. Look at those, rank them by, what'd you say, ad spend or results or what?
You can rank it by amount spent, and you can rank it by results and link clicks, basically just like comparing, like high spend, low link clicks, no results, that's bad. Low cost per result, high spend, and then lots of results and high amount of clicks, that's good. I mean, you just have to identify those. And then if, let's see, this one's $1.77. I mean, the thing is, we really need to drive some more submissions. So ideally, we are going to do that by increasing spend. Sorry, I don't know if I'm cutting out. Yep, so 15 daily. So now we want to basically see how many more schedules we can get.
Okay.
And then with these audiences, we might want to increase these, or we can also just go ahead and turn off the one. You would have to refer back to this one to see basically which one we turned off here, and then you can turn them off in here as well.
What if they're doing better in the lookalike audience than they are in the control?
Then keep them. Yeah, then you'd want to keep them. You could go through the process.
Them then?
I'm sorry?
What's the point in comparing them then? Why not just look at how each individual ad is doing within that ad set?
You 100% could do that. That's probably the best way to go. That is the best way to go.
Yeah, I would say so, because it doesn't make much sense to compare them in different ad sets.
Yeah, over time, what you'll notice is the same ads end up working in every single audience. After you end up spending a lot more, you'll notice that there's 1 to 2 ads that literally work in every audience. but early on, a couple of different ones work in each one, but that's just a part of, the testing phase. Ideally, you'd probably want to go through and increase these and then also remove some ads. So that way you have more spend going towards fewer ads.
Go ahead.
So you would go here, you'd hit budget.
Yep. What do you want to do? Do you want to do like 8?
It's up to you.
Just do $8. Put a 0. Oh, there it goes.
So you're going to be at...
I don't really care as long as the results are starting to come in a little bit faster than they have.
39 daily spend. And then the moment 2 days go by with this one, you're going to duplicate it if the results are still around this cost, and you're going to, scale it to 45. And then you're going to go through the process of identifying which ones are no good by looking at the results and turning them off. In this case, $14 per schedule. I don't know if you've heard anything about the quality of the 3 schedules.
I have, yeah.
Are they good or no?
Talked to Jay. Jay said that 2 were of the best quality that he's had in a long time. And then there were a couple of no-shows. One yesterday. Because you're saying there's only 3 scheduled. There's been like 6.
Yeah, I mean, your analytics might have got wiped a little on a few days. I know there was an issue you were having with Facebook where it just wasn't reporting information, period, to your account, right?
What was your reaction to the response that I got from Facebook?
It sounded unprofessional to me.
In what ways?
Usually they have their response in terms of like their reasoning. They're wanting to blame it on. It looked like they were like, oh, something's not set up right, when really like nobody's ad accounts were getting analytics. Like they just weren't. One, the person didn't admit it, and 2, they didn't give it a direct answer for the solution.
No, they didn't, and I actually called him out on that, and he didn't respond to it.
Yeah, I don't think the person even knew. You either get a person that's like totally disconnected from Facebook, or you get somebody who's like actually at the headquarters and knows what they're talking about. And a lot of their support, about 40 to 50% of their support's outsourced, and then the other 50% is in-house. And they delegate the quality to, I don't know how it's specifically done, but I'm sure it's done by spending. It's ranked by spending.
If I start spending more and more and more and more, am I going to start having better customer service?
The moment you get over 1,000, you're going to be Facebook's going to reach out to you and start scheduling calls with you. You might have done those in the past.
No, I never have, actually.
Okay, they'll reach out to you about, if you're doing 1,000 monthly, they'll reach out to you and they'll speak with you once per month for 30 minutes and basically just go and talk to you about your goals and ad account. And then once you get to about, you have to spend more than 15,000 a month or 30,000 a month to get your rep, which that'll be fine. We'll scale up to those numbers once once we get these all consistent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got no problem spending 30 grand a month if I can ROI 100.
Exactly. That's the goal. So right now, I wouldn't say anything's alarming about these, because right now it looks like this month, so like assuming that your cost is going to be around $15, like, there's no way we could expect any schedules to be here, right? Like all of these would need to be at 15 if that's going to be the average. So honestly,
I don't quite understand what you mean by that.
So like this one's 1455.
Yep.
We want to use exact numbers. And these were launched and they've all been at $5 daily. So if each submission you're going to get is going to be at about $15,
right?
Theoretically, you'd have to spend $15 on each of these to see your first scheduled call. Because if it costs 15, you're going to have to spend 15, and you've only spent less than $10 on each of these.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason the spend is so low, despite it being at $5 daily, it's been much longer than June 5th. Theoretically, it would have spent more than $5 daily if it was actually spending that amount, would have hit. But the reason it didn't is because it's having to test so many ads at the same time. So we can, pull some of them down, and then we can also increase the spend just like we did. And feel free to go higher than 8. But, the moment you double or triple something is when it gets wobbly. So it's ideal just to scale up, initially by about $5 at the most every day. But this one, we can go ahead and duplicate it and triple it since we know what's going to happen with this results. And you could do that today, or you can wait on the 2 days. I think 2 days would be best. And that's because you want some more data for this at the $15 range.
Okay. Yep, I understand. Show me real quick. I mean, I guess I could probably, dink around and figure it out. That question that I asked you in your Facebook group.
Okay, which one specifically?